So for this video, I want to talk very briefly about dragon lore, because last week's episode of House of the Dragon made a big change to how dragons bond with their riders, and I feel like we must needs talk about that. So let's get into it. So on the last episode of Hot D, Rhaenyra tried to find a rider for one of the wild dragons living on Dragonstone. It did not go well. The dragon Seasmoke did not want to become the mount of Ser Steffon Darklyn. Seasmoke was so offended, so disgusted that Rhaenyra would try to do this that he packed a bag and left Dragonstone. Yes, Seasmoke ran away. And where does Seasmoke run to? His nuncle Addam. It was revealed in the last episode that Alan and Addam, these two new characters introduced this season, they're actually the bastards of Corlys Velaryon. They have Velaryon blood, which means they have Valyrian blood. And it would seem Seasmoke is attracted to this blood. Maybe it's because Addam and Alan are half-brothers to Rhaenyra. Rhaenyra was Seasmoke's previous rider. So if Seasmoke must needs have another rider, it would seem the dragon wants someone from House Velaryon, someone closely related to his previous rider, Rhaenyra. So in this episode, Seasmoke chases down Addam and basically forces him to become his rider. This is not how dragon riding works. No spoiler for any future episode or anything like that, but let me just say, in the books, dragons might have a preference for certain people based on their blood, but we have never seen a dragon do what Seasmoke did to Addam in the books. For example, when Dany's dragons escape from the dragon pit, they don't go looking for her. Well, that's how it goes in the books, because in the books, Dany isn't actually in Meereen when they escape. She's on the Dothraki Sea. There's this whole thing about a Dornish man who tries to steal her dragons. Instead, he gets killed. And after he's dead as hell, the dragons escape the pit, and they're kinda just living wild in Meereen. The last we've heard of Rhaegal and Viserion, each dragon has claimed a pyramid for itself, and that's it, because Martin hasn't finished The Winds of Winter. They're just living in pyramids, and occasionally they leave to go hunt, and Dany is on the Dothraki Sea with Drogon. They're not looking for her, and Drogon, even though she is riding him now, he's not really too concerned with her either. While she's walking the Dothraki Sea, Drogon stays close, but not really. She can see him in the distance, hovering, but he's like, Mom, don't die, I'm doing my own thing. But the point being, dragons don't go chasing people down, forcing them to become their rider. It's just not how it works. So to be honest, I'm not liking the change the show made to the lore about dragons. And the main reason I don't like it is because it makes it seem like dragons want riders. They want to be claimed. They want to be the property of people. But based on what I've read so far in the World Book, Fire and Blood, and all the other novels that aren't The Winds of Winter, that doesn't seem to be the case. Dragons do not want to be claimed. They will accept a rider, but even then, it's a tenuous relationship. Because even though Dany is riding Drogon as of the end of Book 5, she can't control him like she would want to. It seems dragons tolerate humans to a certain extent, but for the most part, they'd rather be left alone. So it would make more sense that if Seasmoke didn't want Ser Steffon to be his rider, he wouldn't have gone to Addam, he would have just ran away. Or he would have killed Ser Steffon, and that's it. He would have denied the attempt, and then he would have went back inside of Dragonstone or something. But the idea being, he didn't want Ser Steffon, so he went to find the right rider. That's just never happened before. And the idea that Seasmoke wanted to go find the right rider, it kind of flies in the face of the idea that dragons are a power men were not meant to have. Humans perhaps aren't supposed to be in control of these nuclear deterrents. Dany famously said, "A dragon is no slave." She was wrong because, yes, dragons are slaves. She would chain up her own dragons, and then she would beat Drogon into submission with a slaver's whip. They are slaves. They have to be forced to do their rider's bidding, which is contrary to their nature. But when you have Seasmoke chasing down Addam to be his rider, it's like the dragon is choosing subservience. And it's not even as if Seasmoke is acting on his own free will, because the reason he goes to Addam is because Addam is Rhaenyra's half-brother. It kind of turns Seasmoke into this weird inheritance issue, right? Because Rhaenyra wants him for her side, but Seasmoke is going by, next of kin. It's like the whole fight over the ownership of Vhagar after Laena dies. Baela and Rhaena think the dragon belongs to them because that was their mother's dragon. But Aemond was actually right. Anybody could claim the dragon. The rider was dead. But this Seasmoke thing leads me to believe some dragons do operate just like that. But anyway, my biggest complaint, my biggest issue with the whole Seasmoke dilemma is that the dragon wanted a rider, a specific rider. Instead of choosing freedom, it chose to go to a specific person instead. I don't think that's how dragons are supposed to work in this world, but the show is doing its own thing, and yeah, I just wanted to talk about this real quick. And that's it, that's the video. I don't think wild dragons would choose people over freedom. It doesn't really make sense. But if you agree or disagree, let me know in the comments down below. Also, like, subscribe, and ring that bell. Consider supporting this channel on Patreon or becoming a channel member. Memberships go for as little as $1 a month. Speaking of which, thank you to the following supporters, including Daniel, Philip E, and Jessica P. Again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.